This is the component 3 mock, paper 4, and we're up to question 3. Describe what is meant by a double circulatory system and give us 2 advantages of 4 marks. So double, it's just our definition really. Double, which part is the double? So it's 2 circulations. So a circulation is separate for the body and the lungs, or some sort of systemic circulation and a pulmonary circulation if you're using long words there, but separate for the body and the lungs. Blood passes through the heart twice, then you've got to say this next bit, per 1 complete circulation. So blood passes through the heart twice in 1 complete circulation. That's really the description. And then we've got, so you could have had 2 marks just for describing there, and then some advantages. Well, if we've got separate circulations for the body and the lungs, we can separate the 2 types of blood that we've got. So we can separate oxygenated blood and deoxygenated. Rather than them all just being mixed together. We can, and that would lead to better, more efficient oxygenation, so better supply of oxygen to the body tissues. And the other kind of main advantages is the pressures that we're sending the blood at to the various places. And there's 2 marks here for saying, we can send it at higher pressure to the body systems, where it has to go up to the head and then down right to the end of your legs and that sort of thing. So we can have higher pressure, so this maintains higher pressure to the body. And I'm going to give you another mark for saying lower pressure to the lungs, so it doesn't damage the lungs and lose a lot of water and those sorts of things. But so lower pressure to the lungs. So lots of things you can say. Hopefully you hit 4 in there. The diagram shows a longitudinal section. That means a lengthways cut of a mammalian blood vessel, like you're a mammal, as seen through a microscope. Name the type of blood vessel shown and give a reason. Well, what types of blood vessels have we got? We've got arteries, veins and capillaries. And we need to look at here. The wall, we're going to have a medium thickness, so it doesn't really give us much away there. And we've got some things hanging around in the middle, things that look like they could close, or if blood went this way they'd open, if this way they'd close. So those are actually valves, and we only get valves in a vein. So the answer's got to be, it's a vein. Reason, has a valve. That's it. No need for 2 lines of waffle there. Complete the table for the 4 blood vessels listed. So these are various arteries and veins, and where appropriate name the chamber of the heart involved. Right, so we're looking for blood comes from, so we can't just say the heart here. It does come from the heart. It says, you know, give us a give us a chamber. So which chamber of the heart? So if we were drawing a quick heart, how would we draw a heart there? Let's draw it like this. So 4 chambers of the heart. You've got various pipes going in, valves. So that'll be our rough and ready drawing of the heart, and we've got left atrium, left ventricle, right ventricle, right atrium. Various tubes here, so we would get the flow of blood this way and out there, and a mirror image on the other side. We need the names of these, and we've got the left, so here we are. The aorta carries blood from this, so this is the aorta here. And where's blood come from? It's actually come from the left ventricle. So that's our answer. Left ventricle. Where's it going? It's going to the body tissues. So the body tissues. You can probably get away with body there, or respiring tissues. And why are we sending blood there? Because it's got oxygen in it, and so our choice of oxygenated or deoxygenated will be oxygenated. And is pressure high or low? Well, this one there shouldn't be a problem with it. Aorta, it's got the highest pressure of all the blood vessels, so that's definitely high. And the marks for this table go across, so you need to say all of those 4 things right to get a mark. Vena cava, well, that's, so the aorta goes out and then the vena cava comes back to the heart, and it comes back in the other side. So this is the vena cava there, and so carries blood from our body tissues. So our body tissues go back into the vena cava. So body tissues carries blood to, well, back to the heart, but which part of the heart? Well, you can see it's going into the right atrium. So lots of answers here might just be giving atrium or right side or heart or something like that, but you need, this is an A-level paper, you need to be specific with your places in the heart. It's been to the body tissues, and respiration's happened, and gas exchange has happened in the blood, and so it's got lots of CO2 now and less oxygen. So this is de-oxygenated. And in veins, you know, the pressure, well, this question's already led us in this direction. You know, we've shown the vein, and the vein's got a valve. Why has it got a valve? Because the pressure's low and not enough to move the liquid along. So that's going to be low pressure there. And the next two, pulmonary artery and pulmonary vein, well, it's the same sort of story, apart from, you know, where it's going. And the type of blood would be the opposite way around as well. So we get this deoxygenate. These are handily in the right order as well, so you should be able to see We didn't know that at the start really, but once we're following this, well, it's just following our circulatory pattern. So in the vena cava, out through pulmonary artery here on the right side of the heart. So carries blood from which chamber? The right ventricle. Where's it going? It's going to our lungs. Why is it going to the lungs? Because it needs to get some oxygen, so it must be de-oxygenated. And high or low, this is a common source of confusion. Well, it's an artery and it's come from this great big pump called the heart. So it's got to be high pressure. Even though it's going to the lungs, even though it carries deoxygenated blood, it's still at relatively high pressure. And then we're going back to complete our circuit now, and this is going to be our pulmonary vein. So you can remember these names. The artery and the vein for the lungs are pulmonary, and the aorta and the vena cava, well, aorta begins with A, so we'll have artery. Vena cava begins with V, so that's the vein, and hopefully that will help you remember. So pulmonary vein from the lungs, it's going back into the left atrium. It's just been to the lungs, so it's got some oxygen. So this is oxygenated, and it's been through the capillary bed and it's travelling in veins, so the pressure is now low. And unfortunately, I've drawn my picture on top of where I should be answering the next question, but we'll cope with that. Describe the functions of capillaries. Well, actually, I don't actually need all that space. It's 3 marks and we've got five lines. We just need to trot out what we know about capillaries. So no thinking involved here really, just tell us what you've learnt about capillaries. So we get exchange. They're small, large surface area of them, so they're for exchange, of, for example, O2 and CO2. We could say glucose, material, substances, waste products. In fact, waste products is another mark here. So removes waste products. You should hopefully be able to tell the story of the formation of tissue fluid at the capillaries. And you've probably got a nice diagram showing tissue fluid coming out of the capillaries. So we can tell everybody about that. So formation of tissue fluid, and that enables the actual exchange between the blood and the actual cells. So exchange between the blood and the actual cells, wherever they are. And other little points we could add here. We've got more than enough so far, but we could say it slows down the flow of blood. You recognise that from the little graph that you've got in your notes. So slows down the blood. But we only needed 3 there, and that's 13 marks on animal transport.